G'day guys, and today Shorty and I are doing our tips for round 17. I got it right this week.
You did, mate. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Right then, your tips.
How'd you go with your tips, mate?
I got 7, so yeah,
7.
Not too bad. I tipped Brisbane, they lost, but I also tipped Adelaide. I tipped the Dogs, but I also tipped... it wasn't relevant, but...
Alright, yeah. Just trying to get a gauge of it. I've got the 7 as well, mate. Yeah, I actually changed Geelong to win at the last second as well, like you did with Adelaide and Port Adelaide.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can check my super tipping, mate.
No, it's alright. Yeah, I'll take it.
Are you calling me a liar?
No. I reckon you might be spot on. Maybe. Just maybe.
Okay, mate.
I'm sceptical though, but I'll take it.
Let's get into tips, mate.
We will. Carlton and Hawthorn at the MCG on Friday night.
Do you even have to ask me, mate? The Hawks will smash it. They're on fire.
How much?
I've gone about 10 goals. I think I wrote down 59 points, but the Blues have been better, competitive, winning a couple, but the Hawks scared me, mate. I turned over to the Ashes. I couldn't watch it.
Fair enough.
What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, the Hawks are in good form. Very good form.
Yeah, good's an understatement.
66 points, I reckon they'll win by. Carlton do have some closer ones with them, I think generally around the 3-4 goal mark, but yeah, the Hawks have beaten their two contending challenges by 10 plus goals, so I reckon it'll be similar.
Yeah, definitely.
Scary stuff. Speaking of scary stuff, mate, GWS face the Cats at Star Trek Oval. It'll be a very, very tough game.
It will, and as you may have caught in our review of the Cats game,
which you can check out on our channel.
Yeah, you can. We both pretty much said the Giants. Spoiler alert for your tip, but I've tipped them by 11 points, mainly on the midfield point of view. Giants, such a better team at home. Cats going okay, but not well enough. General tips, see more in review.
Perfect. I've gone with the Giants by 14 points, and pretty much you just said it right there, mate. They're a fantastic side at home, so competitive there, and can equal it to the best, if not beat the best, which they have done. And we're not going that great at the moment, as you said. We're just sort of chugging along. First win since round 11, so been tough, but Giants will be too good. Midfield's great.
Agreed, mate.
Adelaide and Gold Coast at Adelaide Oval. Good win by the Crows for Phil.
Yeah, that was great to see, wasn't it? I mean, almost as important for Port Adelaide in that respect, but yeah, it was pretty good to see the Crows get up and win in a very close one, and I think they'll have a win again, mainly because of the home ground advantage. I think the Suns, I thought about tipping them last week until David Swallow was out. I'm glad glad I didn't, because the Giants got up, but yeah, the Crows for mine, 20-point winners. I think they'll just be too strong and have a bit more to play for.
Yeah, well, then I must have got 6 if I tipped the Gold Coast.
Did you tip Gold Coast?
I did.
Okay.
So that makes it 6, not 7, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, when you said that loss, I thought, okay, Geelong and Gold Coast and Port
I
Adelaide.
you tipped Gold Coast, that's right.
Awkward. Yeah, well, gosh, you one up me there, mate. I think Adelaide will do it comfortably, 35 points. Comfortably, but not easily. Because
Get your dictionary out, guys.
Gold Coast can be competitive, but I don't think they've ever beaten Adelaide, and home ground advantage is really helpful for them. And good win against Port. Great win for them and for Phil as well, so I think they'll be too good here, the Crows.
Very nice.
Huge game, another big game, and they're very tough from Adelaide and Gold Coast onwards. Richmond 3-man at the MCG. Got a premiership contending team versing a team that's probably thinking about it in the next year or two.
Yeah, just having a bit of a think about it.
How you say it?
Yeah, I think Richmond will win by 8 points. Yeah,
Nice,
I looked at it, and funnily enough, I immediately went Richmond. It was
pretty rare that happens.
Yeah, I mean, against the Dockers, but Freo haven't been in fantastic form. They're sort of getting the job done without being super impressive.
Certainly.
Lost to the Hawks, but then they were okay against the Blues from what I could see. But yeah, Richmond seemed to when they're not super expected, and maybe they will be expected to win this one. But look, I think they're the better side at the moment, probably in better form. And the fact that it's at the G, they have had a couple of wins over Fremantle, if my memory serves me correct, in the last few years there. So it's enough reasons for me to pick them, mate.
Perfect. I've gone with the Tigers by 3 points. It's going to be a very tough one to pick here, but I think, initially I look at it, probably Fremantle, but I think Richmond most likely. So the Dockers got the job done there when Pav kicked 6. I think it was 2013, I'm pretty sure. But the Tigers generally do well against the Dockers no matter what. They beat them early this year at Patterson's or Domain Stadium, I should say. They were fantastic there, and I think that's the one team that sort of does bother Fremantle a little bit, and I think the Tigers will be too good, in better form at the moment.
Solid, mate.
Essendon and Port Adelaide at Etihad Stadium. Essendon have a great record against Port Adelaide overall over the last 10 years or so.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't know about this one. It's almost your first real dead rubber game. Sort of two sides that thought they could make the 8 at the start of the year, not rebuilding. Now they both can't make the 8.
What a calamity.
It's almost the first dead rubber game. I've tipped Port Adelaide with little confidence. I tipped them by 11 points.
Sweet.
Yeah, if you try to ask me for a reason, I don't really know why, to be honest. I first went Essendon, then I switched to Port Adelaide. I'm still not even sure. I might suss the teams later in the week, maybe change later. But yeah, two sides that just aren't doing a great deal for me. I just feel as if Port Adelaide have a lot more around the ball, a lot more winners there, and a few more match winners. So that's the main reason I'm thinking of tipping them.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Oh, gee, it's a tough one.
It certainly is.
Going Port Adelaide by 7 points. Essendon traditionally do pretty well against Port Adelaide. They've won when they haven't been expected to. I think one time I had a bit of a bet on Port Adelaide to win comfortably.
Oh, no.
The Bombers won at Adelaide Oval, but luckily the bet was saved by the specials. So,
you're leader to break.
Leader to break, yeah.
Okay.
I can't really remember what it was.
Back in your betting days, mate.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done that, and I'm happy to stay away from it. At least footy betting. Crown, no worries.
Blackjack specialist, mate.
Loves it. Yeah, Port Adelaide probably have a few more match winners, as you said. I just think they're the better team out of the two. I mean, Essendon are pretty ordinary, have a lot of older players that are sort of, their time's nearly up, and I think Port Adelaide are an exciting enough team to win. But, at the same time, I think Essendon are a good chance because they generally do well against Port Adelaide, even at their best. They defeated them last year in their patch where Port had a bit of a sickness going around and they won by less than a kick, 3 points. So, could go either way.
Fair call, mate. Fair call.
Thanks, pal. Brisbane and North Melbourne at the Gabba. The Lions defeated North Melbourne last year by a kick and I can't remember the last time they lost to North Melbourne at the Gabba.
That's a good point. But I'm thinking North Melbourne by 3 points.
He's going North just.
Absolute gut feel. Yeah. I tipped Brisbane to beat Melbourne and they absolutely let me down. I was quietly confident by it. Last week I was umming and ahhing. By the end of the week, I was quietly confident about my point of difference Lions tip.
Yeah, all right.
And they let me down terribly.
So I don't think they're going to be back in your tips for a while.
No, well, certainly not this week. And North Melbourne let me down a couple of times as well. But again, it's a bit like the game just before, that you almost look at who can win the game for them because neither side's travelling amazingly. I just feel at their best, Kangaroos are a better team. But
Certainly.
Being at the Gabba, then sort of can cancel that out to an extent.
Yeah, can.
Both sides inconsistent, especially North Melbourne. But I think they will get the job done because I think they're just starting to play a little bit more consistent footy. Just a bit of a feeling, but it could blow up in my face.
It really could, because I've gone the Brisbane Lions by 2 points. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm convinced that North Melbourne will win. But because I think, there's nothing up forward and they dominate the clearances, and obviously their scoreline suggests they have nothing up forward. So, I'm purely tipping them there for an upset, and it's at the Gabba, and upsets can happen there. And I can't remember the last time North beat them up there, so it's been a long time in the making, and that's why I've tipped them basically. Just a random upset for fun. The next game, though, we've got the Western Bulldogs and Collingwood. The Dogs defeated the Pies last year for the first time in quite some time.
Yeah, I have no idea, mate. I really don't. I've got no idea who's going to win this. So great expert tipping here, but I'm sure I'll know by the end of the week. But at the moment, my gut feel is the Dogs. And even now I think about it, I'm not even that confident about that. It's so hard. I looked at the ladder and I was like, gee, Collingwood are ninth. And, it's feeling like they've been going all right, but they keep losing to better sides, not being disgraced, but they need to win one.
They really do.
So on that basis, are they going to turn up this week? I don't know. The Dogs, I feel as if they've got the game style and pace to beat a Collingwood. I've never been fully sold on the Pies, and the Dogs have won me over. So there's a lot going on. Mate.
Very tough.
But, I can't say I'm sound on the tip here, but for the sake of this video, I'll tip the Dogs.
Alright, I've gone with the Pies by 20 points. The Dogs won last year, as I said, for the first time in quite a few years. I can't remember the last time they defeated them, but it's been a while. I think Collingwood are due for a win almost, and they have played Fremantle, they've played Sydney, no, not Sydney, Hawthorn and West Coast, so there's the three best teams in the competition, you could argue, right there. So, all been honourable losses, I suppose, but I reckon they're due to win one now. And they're against the side around the same mark, so I think the Pies will win. They had a similar patch to last year where they started off blazingly. It's 8-3, and again they've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And could be heading down a similar path.
No more honour. They need 4 points, mate. No more honour.
That's right.
They need a win.
They really do, and that's why I tip them. They just have to win.
Yeah.
Melbourne and St Kilda at the MCG. Speaking of tough games, this is another spanner in the works.
Yeah, I've gone with the D's. Again, have I just tipped this on the venue? Probably. I mean, it's so hard to call, really. The D's have let tipsters down at times, helped them out. Probably more so let them down, really, when I think about it.
When they expect them to win, they don't, and when they do, they somehow find a way.
Yeah, and the Saints, they're exciting at times, but then naturally inconsistent. Their form fluctuates. I feel like Melbourne are further down the rebuild track, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything for this week.
No.
Again, we're throwing out a lot of this way, that way, for and against here.
Yeah, it's tough.
But this is I feel as if we said last week was a tough round to tip. I feel like it's tougher this week.
I reckon you could be right.
But look, I'll tip the D's by 4 points in a close one.
Nice, pal. I've gone with not Geelong. Gone with Melbourne by 11 points. Probably because it's at the MCG like before. I mean, at Etihad, they were probably never going to win because they just don't win there, and they nearly did last time. It was stolen away from them. And the Saints, I reckon, play better at Etihad, but doesn't mean they can't play that way at the MCG. So I think Melbourne's home deck at the G, they just play that extra little bit better than, well, obviously Etihad because they've lost 21 games in a row there. So
it's not a great record.
For some reason, they just play better at the G, and I reckon they'll just get the job done, but I couldn't mount a case for both teams.
That's all right, mate. Just one team is good for now.
That's right. And speaking of big games, West Coast and Sydney at Domain Stadium. Speaking of home venues.
Yeah, I've gone West Coast.
He's gone the Eagles without Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah, I know you'll touch that in a sec. Big fatty McGovern. But look, I think they've relied on team defence, and I'm sure you'll counter this argument, but I feel as if it's more about structure than personnel. I know when you keep losing players that doesn't necessarily always add up. You've got to have decent players. But I just feel the Eagles, they keep surprising us. We keep writing them off. Well, not writing them off, but underselling them, I guess.
Yeah, we do.
Over here in Melbourne. And they're travelling better than we think. And look, the Swans...
Second on the ladder.
Yeah, exactly. And they barely get talked about until probably the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Sydney, hammered by Hawthorn. I feel that's got more to do with Hawthorn than anything. Maybe a bit of mental scarring for the Swans. But
yeah.
Eagles for mine. They've got great weapons up forward and have the ability to score probably to the equal, maybe not quite equal, but just as good as Hawthorn at times.
Yeah, certainly.
And that's enough for me, mate. I'll tip them. But rounding out a very tough round, that's for sure. How do you see it?
Sure is. I've gone with the Swannies by 18 points. That's 3 different between us. I think Sydney, they'll be pretty, I don't know, not happy with the result.
Pretty not happy.
Pretty not happy. Good wording there. They'll be absolutely fuming from that loss, and they generally don't get thrashed, but as you said, more to do with the way Hawthorn play, because it's the same thing over to Fremantle the week before, and Sydney and Fremantle are the top 4 in the top 4, so, or at least we'll finish up, if they're not already. But Jeremy McGovern's a big out, and we'll find out how big of an out he is on the weekend. But I just feel like the Swannies will need to respond, then West Coast are maybe due for a loss as well.
Due for a loss. It's an interesting term.
Due for a win,
due for a loss. Due for a loss. Don't talk to Sam Newman about that one. I'll chop your head off. But
no, I just reckon Sydney are maybe slightly better, and West Coast haven't played a really, really good team yet.
Yeah, that is a good point.
I don't think they've played Fremantle, got absolutely killed. They haven't played Hawthorn, they haven't played Sydney, so this will be their test.
Yeah, definitely. No, that is valid points, mate. So
thanks, pal.
Good stuff.
You might change it by the end of the week.
No, mate. I don't think I'll change that one.
All right.
A couple others. But hey, you're the one who's lying about your tips, mate. You're saying you pick 7. I mean,
yeah, gosh.
You're losing trust with the audience, mate.
That's it. I'll put my hand up next time and just say, well, not a very good call, that one.
Yeah. We'll move
Have
on
I
from
lost
that.
your faith, mate?
Oh, it's wavering.
Yeah, it's wavering, just like these tips. But that sums up for round 17, our tips. Going to be a tough week, and feel free to comment your tips. Hopefully you go alright, because we don't know how we're going to go. We've got 3 different, so it'll be intriguing as always. Don't forget to like the video as well, and share it around to all your mates. That'd be perfect. It'll be great. And don't forget to subscribe as well, one of the most important buttons on YouTube, so get on it, guys. Get all over it.
I like it, mate. What are some other important buttons that come to mind? Just the subscribe button?
The play goes alright, mate.
Play buttons. No, very good.
Yeah, the stop button's not that great. No, I don't think there is. Just the pause button there, but we'll leave it there.
It's getting out of control now.
It sure is.
Off topic.
Alright, thanks for sticking around, guys, and we'll see you all soon.